That night, I had to close them with a mace.
Oh, I've heard this.
They'd recently been fixed, and so I had to close them. And so when we were closing them, they are on like a train track. So there's a wheel that like goes onto a metal railing and just slides along that.
Yeah.
And as we were closing it, the last door, one of my coworkers, one I was closing the doors with, he's like, "Hey, there's a fork here." I was like, "What?" "There's a bounce fork here. It's like a dusty fork." I was like, "What are you talking about, bro?" And so I turn around, and as I turn around, I turn my body, which then I completely by instinct, move my foot onto the railing as I turn.
Oh.
And about a 10-ton door parks itself on my toe. Just like, you could hear it. It just went.
Ow.
I freaked out. I thought I didn't have a toe after that. We tried to push it off. I tried to push it off. Couldn't get it off. I had him come over and help me. He couldn't get it off. We couldn't get it off. Called in another. I was probably freaking out, and we were both probably freaking out, so we probably could have got enough people calm. But in that moment, we weren't anything but calm. So we had another guy come down, and we pushed it off. Closed the venue very quickly. We were closing anyway. There was like 4 minutes left of the session. We was like, "Hey, we're going to end now. Ha, ha, ha." But I think in my brain, I was like, I have 10 seconds to get upstairs before, because I realized, because I've done a bunch of first aid, I realized I was in shock and I didn't feel any pain. I was like, I've got about 20 seconds before I start feeling some pain. So I walked back upstairs, because I had to go downstairs to get to these doors. Walked back upstairs, sat down, and then let the pain come over. And fucking hell, I have never had a more painful experience in my entire life. Finally go to the hospital, and just some fractured toes. I don't have a toenail on my big toe. It's growing back now, and I didn't have a toenail on my other toe. But just 2 fractured toes. That's all it was. I was fine.
God.
It's been a week in bed.
Yeah.
It's been another week with like a loose bandage on. I was walking within a week.
It's not too bad.
Oh God.
Yeah. I genuinely thought I had a thought to myself. I was like, I'm not gonna have any toes. I'm not gonna have a big toe after this. But thankfully, I still have my favorite toe, my big toe.
Which one, left or right?
Right foot. And funnily enough, I'm not sure if I've told you this, I actually had an ingrown toenail on that foot.
Well, at least you don't have an ingrown toenail.
Well, yeah, I definitely don't have an ingrown toenail anymore, because it got completely ripped off. So
Yeah,
don't have to worry about that problem anymore.
That's one way to fix it.
Yeah, I mean, and also the second most painful experience of my entire life, funnily enough, was like a few days before that, because I went to the whatever the foot doctor's called, pediatric? No, not pediatric.
Podiatrist.
Yeah, podiatrist. I went to the podiatrist, and to deal with my ingrown toenail, which, the nail was growing into my flesh, didn't really hurt that much unless it got banged, but to deal with that, his fucking amazing remedy, was to give me no pain relief, no Panadol, no shit all, and then systematically get a pair of pliers and clippers, and just clip the toenail that was in. Oh, I just got knocked off. I'm dead. And
Same.
clip the toenail that was inside of my flesh. So he had to pull back the toe at the skin that was being stabbed, and then force a pair of clippers into the space and clip my toenails.
Ow.
And pull it out, out of my toe. That was his amazing fucking remedy.
And no painkillers.
Do you want to know the reason for his no painkillers? He said it would take too long. He's like, this won't be too hard, so it'll take too long to do that. My mum's a nurse. Local anesthetic takes 5 minutes to take effect. They just rub it on you. They rub it on wherever they need it, and then you don't feel anything after 5 minutes. Fuck that guy. I got out and I got out. My mum was like, "You look like I thought you were gonna faint," and I was like, "Yeah, that was the worst thing ever." And she was like, "I'm not going back there." It's like, "Don't worry, I'm not going back there either." Fuck that. You don't have to fucking convince me. Don't go back to that motherfucker. Jeez, I went back in way later because it was my local GP. And I went back into the normal GP and not the podiatrist to get some work forms for work cover and all that. And I saw him at the desk. He was like, I told him what happened. He was like, oh, why are you here? I was like, oh, this happened, this happened. He's like, oh, well, I guess I'll see you in a few weeks because you'll be needing that. And I was like, ha ha ha, yeah, yeah, that's gonna happen.
No thanks.
Most painful. Fuck that. That might have been. I'm not actually
Whoa.
sure which one was the most painful because I didn't go into shock.
Got to be straight, isn't
at
it?
all times.
Oh.
Grip monkey. Next one up, straight up. Straight up. It's straight up. It's straight up. Go.
No, it's
I
not.
saw
It's
it
not.
shake.
It's
Chris, I
wait.
saw it shake. It is straight up. I'm not joking. I hoped you died.
You mean you saw it? You didn't see it shake?
I saw the ones next to it shake.
But like all the way. Okay, I didn't. You both done some, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
I was telling my story. I was very distracted.
We got knocked off.
I got really sick of telling that story though, because obviously you know, people at work heard, and then other people I talk to on a regular basis. I was like, oh, I'm at home. And they're like, oh, why are you at home? And I'd be like, crushed foot.
This.
I got really
Yeah.
sick of telling that
Oh
story.
yeah, and after
Oh, I didn't
a
see
while,
that
it
one
just
coming.
you start off with like the whole theatric storytelling, and then it just becomes crushed foot.
Hmm.
Like, I did it.
Oh.
I
Nope.
managed to straight up break my ankle. When I
Hey, no one was even near me.
So I spent a week at home and then
Oh, really?
like 6 weeks in a cast.
Yeah.
Boom.
And then another 2.
Alright,
in a
go on,
main
give me-
food.
Give me the
And,
theatric
like-
tale.
I started off with the whole story and then it was just like, what happened to your leg? And it's just like, I broke it.
Yeah.